everyone, and welcome to my Pigments and Chromes workshop. In this workshop I'm going to teach you how to use pigments and chromes to create beautiful nail designs for your clients. I really hope you enjoy it, so let's get started. Okay, so welcome to my Pigments and Chromes workshop. So in this workshop I'm going to show you how to use neon pigments and also chrome powders to create really simple, beautiful effects on your clients' nails, okay? So the pigment powders that I'm using are actually from Alchemy, and they come in a set of 12, and these are the neon pigments, okay? So I've also prepared my tips with 1 coat of gel polish, okay, and I'm going to do my 2nd coat on my nails just before I apply my pigments. Now the pigments I'm going to use for the first design is I've got a orangey pink here, I have got a neon orange, and I've also got the fluorescent neon yellow. So I'm doing a 3-way blend on the first nail. So the reason I've chosen these colours is because of the blend will create a really nice almost ombre effect, okay? And I've taken the lids off of those and I've just decanted a little bit of product of each one into their respective lids. Now that is the best way to do it, because if another colour pigment goes into another lid, it really doesn't matter too much because you can just clean that lid out. But if it was to go into the pot, then you'll have trouble trying to get that out of the whole pot, so you're not contaminating your pots. So the first thing I'm going to do, if this was on a client, I would have done my base coat and first coat of gel polish, and I'm just going to go in with my 2nd coat of gel polish. So this is white, and the reason I'm using the white, so this is actually called Saltstone from Alchemy, and the reason I'm using the white is because I'm using the neon pigments today. I want the neons to really pop, so that's why I'm using the white. Obviously you can use whatever colour you want underneath, but obviously the darker the colour, the less the pigments are going to pop for you. So the brush I'm going to be using to apply my pigments, I'm not actually going to be using you can get like the little eyeshadow applicators that come with pigments. I don't tend to use those because they tend to only be single use, and it can also contaminate your pots really quite easily. So I've actually got an old gel brush that, as you can see, has been fanned out at the edges, and this is really great for pigment application because you don't get build up, and obviously you can reuse it. So my white 2nd coat has now cured. I'm just moving my pots to one side so that you guys can see fully what I'm doing. So what I want to do is start with the orangey pink, go down into the orange, and then to the yellow on the tip. So I'm just going into the lid. I'll just move that there so you guys can see, and I'm just going to apply this pigment into the inhibition layer of that gel polish, okay? Now I'm not going to be tempted to wipe off this fallout and residue here, because it's that's going to help to create the blend between the colours. So I'm just getting my orange now, and I'm going to go in that middle section and then just tap that up into that pinky orange colour to help to create that ombre effect between my pigments. And again, I'm not going to remove that fallout, and I'm just going to clean my brush. And the way I'm cleaning my brush is I'm just flicking it on the side of my desk, and that helps to remove any residue of product that's in the end of my brush, okay? So now I'm just going to go into my yellow, and again, in the same way as the other two, pop that on the end and then take it up into that orange using that tapping motion. Okay, and now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to flick over the whole nail and remove the residue of product. So I'm just going to pop a little bit more orange there because it's a little bit bitty. And I'm really working that pigment into the nail. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to clean off my hand with my dusting brush. Wipe off any residue with my dusting brush, and I'm going to go in on this with a matte top coat. So this is the Nail Alchemy Velvet Matte, okay, because I want to do a little bit of nail art on top of this in a second. Neons look really nice in the matte tone as well. So I've just gone over that with my matte top coat, and I'm going to pop that in for a full cure for 60 seconds. So while that's curing, I'm going to start on my black nail. So this nail has had a full cure, 2 coats of colour, and I'm actually going to do a really simple dotting design on this nail that looks incredible with pigment colours. So I've got my palette here, okay, and I'm using the Artisan painting gel in white, and I'm just going to decant a tiny little bit onto my palette. Now these come in pumps, which are amazing because it means you're not overusing any products and wasting any product whatsoever. So I'm just going to do a really simple dotting design. So hopefully you guys will have watched my dotting workshop, so you'll know how to use your dotting tools correctly. And I'm just going to create random sized dots across the nail, varying in sizes. And you can do this however which way you want, it's entirely up to you. But again, I'm using the white because I really want those neon colours to pop. And it looks really effective against the black as well. So you can create swirls with this. You could create any sort of design really in the white. But I've just gone with the dotty design because I really like the effect at the end of it. Okay, I'm just going to come the other way as well. So what I'm actually doing is I'm alternating my lines of my larger dots. So this is a smaller dot here, and then I've gone in larger coming this way. Hopefully you'll have watched my mediums workshop, which is also a free workshop, so you'll understand why I'm using the Artisan paint rather than a gel paint. Because it helps, it doesn't tend to bleed or spread like a gel polish would, and it holds its own weight, which is what we want. We want these dots to stay where we put them until we pop them in the lamp. So I'm just going to pop another one there on the end. Okay, now with the Artisan gel paints, what we normally do is a 60-second cure, but I'm not going to do that. I'm only going to half cure it because I want that inhibition layer. I want them to be slightly tacky when we apply our pigment powders. So that's actually going to go in for a 30-second cure. So while that's in the lamp, I'm just going to prepare the colours that I'm using. So this is the blue, okay, and then I have got the neon purple and the fuchsia pink. So again, these colours blend really well together, and that's what I want within this design. So I'm just going to decant a little bit more from my pots, just using my brush into the pot lid. And you can see a little bit goes a really, really, really long way. So these pots of pigment powders are going to last you forever and a day. So my dots have now half cured. So it's a little bit more than a flash cure and not quite a full cure. Okay. So I'm going to go in with my blue and I'm just going to really randomly pop it on to the nail. Not worrying too much about blending or anything like that, because this is only going to stick to the dots rather than our black underneath. Okay, so I have popped that colour on. I'm just going to dust that over slightly, making sure that I've made contact with all the dots, especially the ones that are on the edge, because they can tend to get missed out slightly. Obviously, if you're doing this on a client, then it would be down their side walls. And now what I'm going to do, without dusting that off, I'm going to pop that in for the rest of its cure. So like I said before, it's normally 60 seconds, but we have half cured it. So that is now going to be a 30-second cure. So I'm just going to get rid of that fallout. And while that's in the lamp, I'm just going to create a really simple design on top of this tropical nail. So again, I'm using the Artisan painting gel, but this time I'm going to use it in black. So I'm going to decant a tiny little bit of my black gel paint on there, and I'm going to use my Nailchemy Ultrafine 000 brush. So you can see it's super fine, this brush. And I'm also going to use a dotting tool. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to create a really simple flower design. So the first thing I'm going to do is put the central point of my flower on the nail. Okay, I am then going to go in, and because this is a 5-point flower, I want a benchmark to work from. So I'm actually putting in the tips of the flower as my guide. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my 000 Ultrafine detailer brush and I'm going to start adding the detail to this flower. So again, hopefully you've watched my brush techniques video and you'll know how to use your brushes correctly. So I'm going to start at the point and I'm going to come down and join that up to the middle of my flower. And again, working this way and join that up, and I'm going to do that for each petal. And don't be scared to use points to be able to get your design how you want it to be. I always find 5-point flowers really quite tricky to get the points in the right place, so I always give myself the guide dots to be able to work to. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to fade this in to the nail. So using the residue of what was left on the dot, I'm just doing little tiny lines just to create that detail on each petal. Okay, and I'm going to go round and do that for each one. And the black against these neon really pop. I absolutely love it. It's great for holiday nails as well, so if people want palm trees or something like that. I'm just going to fatten out that petal slightly. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create more of a point to my petal. So I'm going to pop a little bit of product on my brush, and I'm just going to pull this excess product out this way just to create a point on my petal. So again, just the tiniest little bit of product is all we need just to pull out our petal points. And that really finishes each petal off. So what I'm going to do before I move on to the next stage of this flower, I'm just going to pop that in for a really quick flash cure. So that is just 10 seconds. So while that one is flash curing, I'm just going to sort out my dotty. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my old acrylic brush, and I'm going to give that a really, really good scrub. And that pigment powder is now set into that polish, so we don't want to be worried about removing too much of that product, because what's on the dots is actually set in there. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go over my dots. I had a little bit of gel wipe off solution on there, so I just need to go back in with that blue. So now what I'm going to do, I want to make these dots almost like 3D. So I'm going to grab a little bit of my hard gel. And what this is going to do is it's going to make my dots like neon water droplets. So I'm just going to grab my dotting tool again, making sure it's nice and clean because this needs to be clear. So I'm just going in with my hard gel. And I'm going to go over the dots, not too much product, just a little bit. Now this product is going to start to spread, okay? So what I'm now going to do is hold it upside down, okay? Just so that that pulls, gravity helps to pull the product down, and I'm going to put it straight in the lamp for a full cure. So while that one's curing, I'm just going to finish off this flower, and I'm actually going to pop another flower here. So I'm just going to get my smaller dotting tool and create the center. Okay, and then again, this is only going to have 3 petals to it, so I'm going to have 1 petal here, 1 petal here, and 1 petal here. And I'm going to do exactly the same as what I did for the other flower. So I'm going to go from my guide point and go down into the center point of my flower. Again, go from my guide point into my center point, guide point to center point. Okay, and now I'm going to do the same. I'm just going to taper that colour just to create a little bit of definition in that petal. And now I'm going to pull out the points of the petal. So before I pop that in for a cure, I'm also just going to do a few little lines, just like tendrils really, from a flower or a plant. I always tend to do 3. I can't ever just do 2. It doesn't seem to finish the design off. I'm just going to do 3 more coming up this way. And it just really helps with the travel of the design and the layout of the design as well. Okay, I'm just going to pop that in the lamp for a full cure. So my first lot of dots have come out, and again I'm going to go into my hard gel and just go over wherever I have put a dot, because I want them to be raised. Again, I'm going to turn that upside down, let gravity do its thing. This really helps with the 3D effect. And I'm going to pop that in the lamp for a full cure. So my flower design has now had a full cure, and I'm not going to matte this. I'm going to actually top coat it with a shiny top coat. So again, I'm going to use a no wipe top coat. So this is the Alchemy Essentials non-wipe top coat. And I'm just going to go over that whole design, sealing it in, making sure we get into any nooks and crannies that we have created with our artisan gel paint with the design. And that's going to go in the lamp for a full cure. Okay, so again, I've got my last few dots that I need to do. Just going over this with my dotting tool and my hard gel. And that's going in the lamp again for a full cure. Okay, so the next nail I'm going to do is the Burnished Chrome. So I've got my black, okay, so I always find that a burnished chrome looks so much better on a black nail because it really helps make that mirror pigment pop. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to use a no wipe top coat. So I've done 2 coats of my black. Again, if this was on a client, we would have base coat and then 2 coats of our gel polish. Okay, and I'm going to pop that in for a full cure. So that's going in the lamp for a full cure. My flower design has now fully cured, and this is a no wipe top coat, so we don't need to wipe it off. So I'm just going to take that off the stand so you guys can see a nice close-up of that design. So we have used our pigment powders to create an ombre, and then we have done our black silhouette, almost tropical flower sort of design on top of that. Okay, so that's our first design done. We have also got our bubble sort of design with our spots, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe that over to get rid of any residue of our pigment powder on that black, but obviously we've sealed it in with our hard gel on our dots, so that means that our dots are raised and shiny, okay, and our background is black. So you can see the texture that we've got on that nail. This isn't for everyone. Obviously, some people don't like to have texture on their nail, but I think this year texture is going to be a really big thing on nails, and that's a really easy way of creating texture on the nail. So what we need to make sure when we are burnishing our chrome is that when our nail comes out of the lamp, that it is still nice and hot. And I use my finger to apply my chrome pigment powder. Some people use a silicone tool, some people use those like eyeshadow applicator sponge tools. I just find it so much easier to use my finger. Now before I burnish this in, I've literally just patted my chrome powder into that no wipe top coat while it's warm. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my finger and do what's called burnishing. So you're literally rubbing that product, that pigment powder, into that no wipe top coat. So giving it a really good rub, and you can almost feel the burnish happen. So I'm just cleaning off my finger and going over again, and you can see how that has created a really smooth mirror-like effect on that nail. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm not actually going to do any nail art on this whatsoever. I'm just going to seal it in again with my no wipe top coat, and that's going to go back in the lamp for a full cure. So that is to create a full mirror pigment chrome effect nail. Now what I also really like is the holographic pigment powder. So this is a holographic nail powder, and you can't really appreciate it when it's in the pot because it looks really quite dark. But I've got the Alchemy Violet from the Fairy Garden colour here on my nail, and I've done 2 coats, but I haven't wiped off the inhibition layer. Now what I really like to do with my holographic is almost create like an ombre French. So I'm just popping that with my finger like I did my chrome effect, okay, on the tip of the nail. Now I'm going to clean off my finger, and I'm just going to pat that out into that colour. Now you can do this on any colour that you like. Okay, and it's created like an ombre effect. And now I'm going to burnish it. So I'm going to rub over that holographic. And create that holographic tone. And now I'm going to go in with my no wipe top coat and seal that in. And that's going to go in for a full cure. You can see that hollow effect there. So my chrome has now come out of the lamp. I'm just going to give that a wipe over to remove any residue of pigment powder that may be still lying around on the edge of that nail. So that is how to create a full mirror chrome nail. Now you can obviously go on and pop nail art on there and do whatever you will with it, but I just wanted to show you how to create a really easy, quick mirror chrome effect on a nail. So my purple French ombre holographic pigment powder nail has now come out of the lamp. So I'm just going to show you a close-up of that one. So you can see the fade that we've created with that hollow. So it's a really nice alternative French effect on the nail. So we've got our dense product here fading up, going up into that beautiful lilac. Okay, so we have created our tropical ombre nail design. We have also created our 3D dotty bubble design, and then we have got our full chrome mirror nail and our ombre alternative French holographic nail. So there's so many different things you can do with pigments, holographics and chrome powders, and the most important thing to do is just to have a play, have fun and see what you can create, and the different colour combinations that you can do is completely endless. That completes my Pigments and Chromes workshop. If you've enjoyed this workshop, please make sure you click the like button, and if you want to see any future workshops, make sure you click the subscribe button and the notification bell. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all soon.